granddaughter, and she was an amazing woman, a woman for all people. Um, she was strong, powerful in her own right, um, and she cared about change, not just change for herself and her family, but for everybody.
Well, I felt like her story was very important, impactful. I didn't feel like her life or CP Ellis's should be in vain because, I mean, they made real change, and what their story leaves us with is hope. And it just confirms the statement, you know, love wins, because it really does. She changed the whole family's generation of hate. Like his grandchildren and Ann's grandchildren, they know each other. Like, you know, so like I said, it just leaves us with hope. You know, during the 1970s, the schools were still very segregated. And the black school burned down, and so the black children had nowhere to go, and so it was time to integrate. And it was issues with both sides of the community. And so Bill Riddick, who is an amazing man, came down. He has this, held a charrette, so both sides of the community could air out their issues. And Ann was the president of one side, and C.P. Ellis was the president of Ku Klux Klan, but he led the other side of town. And they had to come together, air out their issues, and come to an agreement. And through that process, Ann was able to touch C.P. Ellis's heart, and he became a loving person. He denounced the Ku Klux Klan, changed his life, and they became best friends until they died. His family actually asked Ann to eulogize him at his funeral. The most difficult scene for me was when I was face to face with the actual Ku Klux Klan uniform. And I'd seen pictures and, you know, documentaries and things like that, but I'd never been that close, and it was just haunting. And, you know, I think what the audience sees is an actual my visceral reaction to it, which I can only imagine was Ann's. How giving he is as a scene partner. He really, you know, you want somebody that you can share a scene with, or someone that's gonna make you raise your bar, you know, and he definitely does that. I really love sparring with him.
I think basically our biggest enemy is within, um, and until we check ourselves and our own biases, things that we were taught young, and open up our ears to hear. Until we are able to do that, um, then you know that's where the change can come. My grandmother believed in everybody having a seat at the table, no matter your economic status, no matter how much money you had in the bank, no matter what religion you came from. She believed everybody had a seat at the table. So just everybody being able to come to the table, air their differences, come to a solution, and move forward because the work is not done.
Love wins. It's that simple. If hate were to ever win, it would be the destruction of mankind. You know, as hard as it is to love your enemy, we have to listen to each other and stop yelling. Everybody's fussing and yelling, trying to get their point across, and no one's really listening for understanding.